A bird's wingspan refers to the length of one tip of its wing to the other. The longer the wingspan, the greater the distance a bird can fly. It also lets them fly easier, by letting them glide on the wind with minimum effort. Here we have the top 10 contenders for the title of the bird with the longest wingspan in the world. 1. Wandering albatross. Also known as the snowy albatross, the white-winged albatross, and the goonie, this bird has a wingspan of up to 3.7 meters long. This makes it the bird with the unquestionably longest wingspan in the entire world. Their long wings allow them to fly long distances without getting tired, particularly by letting them glide on ocean breezes. This led to the birds being described as unmoving even as they fly across the sky. Scientists that track their flight patterns discovered that they can circumnavigate the Southern Ocean up to 3 times in a single year. Contrary to popular belief, the wandering albatross is not purely white. Juveniles of the species feature a chocolate-brown color that changes as they mature. Adults of the species have white feathers on their bodies and most of their wings. Their wingtips and edges make up the exceptions, having a black color instead. 2. Maribo Stork. Also known as the Undertaker bird, this bird has a wingspan of 3.7 meters, rivaling the wandering albatross. This makes the Maribo Stork the largest land bird in the whole world, at least in terms of wingspan. It also gives them a wide range, with the Maribo Stork widespread across the entirety of sub-Saharan Africa. The bird's nickname references its appearance from behind, its wings giving the appearance of a cloak draped over a man stooped over a grave. This is further reinforced by the black feathers on the bird's wings and back, although it has white feathers on the rest of its body. The bird does have a bald head and neck, with the latter featuring a ring of white feathers around the base. Juveniles of the species also have brown feathers instead of black, which darken as they age. 3. Great white pelican. Also known as the eastern white pelican, the rosy pelican, or simply as the white pelican, this bird has a wingspan of up to 3.6 meters long. This makes it second to the wandering albatross when it comes to wingspan. Their wingspan helps them fly long distances, as shown by their migratory patterns. White pelicans in Eurasia range in the seasons between Eastern Europe, Central Asia, and Northern China. In Africa, they populate the entire continent. Its name also reflects its predominantly white coloration, except for its wing feathers, which feature a black coloration instead. The bird also has a multicolored bill and yellow legs, which stand out against its white feathers. 4. Andean Condor. With a wingspan of 3.3 meters, this bird stands as the largest bird of prey in the whole world. The Andean condor has a predominantly black color, with the exception of the base of its neck, which has white feathers instead. Its wings may also have white patches on them while having a completely bald head and neck. The bird's skin normally has a dull red color, but this can vary depending on the bird's emotional state. The Andean condor also has one of the longest lifespans among birds, able to live up to 70 years. It also ranges across the entire west coast of South America, following the course of its native Andes Mountains. 5. Cenarius Vulture. Also known as the black vulture, the monk vulture, or the Eurasian vulture, this bird has a wingspan of 3.1 meters. Its name references its color, as Cenarius means ash-colored in Latin. Adults of the species, though, have paler feathers on their heads. Like other birds with long wingspans, the Cenarius vulture has a very wide range. Most of the birds today range across Asia from Turkey in the west to China in the east, and from Russia in the north to India in the south. A number of birds also still live in southern Europe, but have since become cut off from their fellows in Asia. This resulted from the species' extinction in Eastern Europe due to human development over the last 200 years. This led to the Cenarius vulture receiving a near-threatened conservation status. 6. Wedge-tailed eagle. The largest bird in Australia, the wedge-tailed eagle has a wingspan of 2.84 meters. It lives across the entire continent, whether in the moist coastal regions, the cold and dry mountains, or the hot and arid interior. It's also one of the most successful predators in the world and serves a vital role in keeping invasive mammal species like the European rabbit in check. Unsurprisingly, this also makes the wedge-tailed eagle an animal of least concern when it comes to conservation. The bird typically has a predominantly black color, although scientists have documented dark brown or brown specimens. Juveniles also tend to have light brown feathers that only darken as they age into adulthood. 7. Jabiru Stork. Also known simply as the Jabiru, this bird has a wingspan of 2.8 meters, making it the bird with the second longest wingspan in South America. The Jabiru has a mostly white color but has a bald head and neck with mostly black skin. The base of its neck, though, has a red-colored pouch for storing food and attracting mates. This serves as the origin of its name, with Jabiru meaning swollen neck in the Tupi-Guarani language. Scientists have noted similarities in the Jabiru's appearance with other stork species from Asia and Africa. This has led them to think that the Jabiru's ancestors originally came from the Old World. At some point in the past, they migrated to the New World, where evolution turned them into an entirely different species. Today, the Jabiru has a widespread population across South America, making it a species of least concern. 8. Corybusterd. This bird has a wingspan of 2.75 meters, making it the largest flying bird in Africa. Scientists also think that males of the species make up the heaviest flight-capable animals in the world. Corybustards typically have feathers with a mixed coloration of gray and brown, with fine patterns in black and white. English naturalist William Burchell gave the bird its name in 1822, transliterating it from the original Sawana name Kagori. Today, the bird lives widespread across southern Africa, where it suffers a declining population as a result of overhunting. Once a vulnerable species, the introduction of legal protections has allowed the species to recover. That said, they remain a near-threatened species, thanks to the difficulty of actually enforcing the bird's legal protections. 9. Trumpeter Swan. The heaviest birds in North America, these birds have a wingspan of up to 2.5 meters. Their name references their loud and distinctive calls, which resemble that of a trumpet. Like most swans, they have a pure white color in adulthood, while their young have a gray color that whitens as they grow older. This makes it difficult to distinguish them from other swans at a distance, although scientists admit a trumpeter swan's greater size makes for a good rule of thumb. Trumpeter swans also have the unfortunate distinction of having previously made a brush with extinction. Overhunting of the species reduced their wild population to just 70 birds by 1933. However, the introduction of legal protections, and carefully managed breeding and reintroduction into the wild have caused the trumpeter swan to rebound. Today, scientists estimate their wild population at 70,000 birds. 10. Goliath Heron. Also known as the giant heron, this bird has a wingspan of up to 2.3 meters, making it the world's largest heron. The bird has a very colorful appearance, with a mix of slate gray and chestnut brown feathers over most of its body. White feathers cover its chin, neck, and upper breast, while black streaks mark its belly and lower breast. Scientists find this bird very aquatic, even among its fellow herons, with the Goliath heron only ever leaving the water when absolutely necessary. Even then, it prefers to fly over water than over land. Surprisingly, though, the birds can nest in high altitudes of up to 2.1 kilometers above sea level, so long as there's enough water for their comfort. The bird mostly lives in sub-Saharan Africa today, but once had large populations in South and Southeast Asia.